I have played Sunshine and I have played Galaxy, despite saying I wouldn't. I just felt like it.
I keep jumping between all three of them. I haven't.
Yeah, you said
settled
that. You said that.
I'm playing.
But most
Galaxy
of my time has
with
been
Boy, and he's loving it. And I'm kind of he's told me to not play it without him, so I'm like, all right, okay, I won't. And he's got no interest in Sunshine or 64, so I play Galaxy for kind of half hour with him every day, and then Mario and Sunshine. I've gone back to Mario because I played a lot of Sunshine and didn't like it, so I've gone back to 64. Which
I wanted to speak to you about that.
Well, we'll do that now. Wow, how should we kick off the?
I don't know. I thought we'd started.
Hello everyone, Laurie here from the Cross Players, and I'm here with Lewis to talk about the new Super Mario 3D All-Stars package. Lewis, we've both spent a bit of time with the game. What's your initial thoughts on it?
I am loving my time so far with it. I've not touched the games since they were out on their original consoles, and so this has been like the best thing ever for me, is to jump back into these games that I've had from my childhood at one point into early adulthood for the latter game. Just really enjoying my time with it.
And had you played through all of these games initially first time round?
What do you mean by through? I've never completed
all
any
of their
them.
stuff.
That's what you mean.
Okay. So you've had a good go on them all before, but never finished them.
I think in terms of owning, I owned Sunshine and I owned Galaxy. I only ever rented 64. That was rented a game.
Was it Blockbusters?
Blockbuster.
Blockbusters it
kids.
was.
Blockbuster.
Did it have someone else's file on there that you just played and pretended?
I can't
that you
remember.
Finished
I
it?
do. What I do remember about playing 64 on the rented cartridge was just spending a lot of time playing with Mario's face.
Yeah. Did you not think the time is clicking here? I've got to give this game back tomorrow and spend half hour?
Yeah, it's like I should at least get the first star instead of trying to make Mario look like a Fraggle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with 64 then. Just for the record, I played 64 and completed it. I did get all the stars the first time round, but I never played Sunshine and I never played Galaxy. I was a lapsed Nintendo fan for those ones. So going into this package, 64, I know inside and out, but the other two were going to be completely new to me. So it's been an exciting time. But let's start with 64. How are you finding it?
I think it's still a great game. The camera... Obviously, there has been its camera function and maneuverability has come on leaps and bounds in the 23 years since the game was released. So try not to concentrate too much on how frustrating the angles can be at times. It's just a great game, and it doesn't hold as much nostalgia for me as the other ones. Excluding playing with Mario's face, but it's it's just a good old time.
Yeah, well, it does hold. It's also all the nostalgia is in this game for me, and playing it just took me straight back to that first Christmas when I got the N64. Must have been 1998 probably, and just playing this being the first game I played, and just the way Mario runs in this, that his turning circle, you could just feel like you've got that old N64 analog stick in your hand, just going around in circles. And when you first go into the Peach's Castle gardens and you can hear the birds cheeping and the sort of crickets and things and the insects in the grass, it's just so nice. And you can hear the waterfall going. And the first thing you do, you just kind of run around in circles and you do the leap. I don't know what the move's called, but you do the leap that he does, and he just lets out.
You do like a triple jump.
You can do the triple jump, but I'm thinking what's the one where you do the Z trigger and the A.
Oh, like the big leap thing.
Yeah, the big leap thing.
That's the leap thing. That's what it is.
And he just lets out a little woohoo, and it's just his joy in it. And that is when you were a kid playing the game. That is the same sort of thing that you felt like you've just playing the first game in 3D, and you could just think, wow, what is the possibilities here are endless. And in this game, they really are endless because it just takes you to all these amazing faraway places. And playing through them again, it's just the muscle memory is just incredible for me. I just straight away didn't have to look up how to do any of the moves. I just knew them all straight away. I knew that you can quickly do the about turn and jump, and you do the kind of somersault in the air thing. It was all there, and even launching the first world I know exactly where to go and where the sort of twists and turns are, and it's fantastic. It's so strange to return to a game after this long that you hold so fondly.
I could not remember the first stage. I know it's Bob on Battlefield, but in terms of what to do, I mean, the first couple of stars are relatively straightforward, but I started to get. It's not like I got stuck, but I was like, where am I meant to go? What am I meant to do? And but so to jump back to what I did first when I played the game after I got past Mario's face, it was the same thing as I did when I first played the game, whenever it was, back when I was 12 or whatever. It was climb a tree, flip off the top of it, and then try and do a triple jump and land directly in front of the main door.
Nice.
Failed
nice. It. I always try. Do you do the thing where you try and backflip into every painting, or
of course
do the leap into every painting?
You need to be stylish when you go into these paintings. You need to have some style about you.
So I completely appreciate people that I'm seeing online saying that the camera just makes it impossible to play. And I feel like if you didn't play this game the first time round and you're playing it now for the first time, I can absolutely see why you would just not enjoy it in the same way that someone else would. And I can see why if you didn't grow up or learn to play games in 3D with these controls and camera system, why it would be so awkward to go back to now. So I completely understand when people.
I mean, it's like the first game that was properly that used the 3D camera like that for in terms of platform. And I'm sure I'm going to be corrected by somebody in saying that, but and how it was implemented and how they did it, that was probably the best at that point in time.
But when people like Ben say that playing it or you trying to control the camera is like trying to put blancmange through a letterbox, which. First of all, I don't really understand how Ben would know what that's like. I don't know if this is a kind of misspent youth of going around trying to put blancmange through people's letterboxes.
He's posh.
He's posh. Is that what posh boys did? You think he did?
Yeah. We'll get the blancmange.
But that notwithstanding, I could totally see where people are coming from and why they wouldn't like it in the same way that I am doing it and why they would find the camera horrible. I kind of just remember it, and it does kind of feel like you have to control it backwards to a normal camera, the way it turns and the way you have to kind of tap the button to make it move a little bit at a time. But yeah, with it, you kind of, I find the best way to do it is just not to fight it, just let it give you the angle it wants and just try and work with that. Usually we're kind of so used to having this full control and putting the camera where we want it, you kind of just have to let that go and just let the camera put you where it wants to go, and sometimes it gets it a bit wrong, but most of the time it's fine.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, if the camera doesn't do what you want it to do, and you can't see where you're going, just trust your instincts. Jump.
Like Jedi at the end of Star Wars, so you just have to kind of turn off your screen and just jump. Close your eyes and just jump. Trust me, you'll get that star, everyone. If you can't see, just close your eyes. Turn off your TV screen and just play without the TV on.
Exactly.
You'll do it. It's fine.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah. Okay, so the next game in the collection is we go from 64 to Mario Sunshine. What's your take on this?
Again, there's not a game so far that I'm going to say I hated it. This is a game that has the most nostalgia for me. I had it on the GameCube, and just I have more muscle memory for that and what to do and the story, and distinctly remember back in the day when that sort of cutscene with him in the plane and wondering why Mario was just mouthing words and why was everyone else able to speak.
It's a funny cutscene.
Despite him
having
a voice
like a Nintendo game with that weird cutscene at the beginning. It's like, this is very strange.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Toadsworth.
Is that what his name is? That guy?
The old Toad, and I like going up to speak to him later because his little voice animation kind of thing is just blah 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 blah, which is great.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think, because you see you've kind of struggled with
I cannot. It's strange because I completely understand. If I'd have played this back in the day and I would learn to play it the hard way, I'm sure I'd be revisiting it now and I'd love it. But playing it now for the first time, I cannot get my head around it. I just find it's so hard to control, and the difficulty spikes. It seems like Nintendo forgot all of the gentle easing you in and teaching you how to do something before then letting you learn that and then improve your skill, practice it, and then test you on it and then twist it. That's their thing, and they just don't do that in this game. I'm on the second. I must be, I don't know, 5 or 6 shines into it, and I'm in the port level where I've done the one where you have to rip all the arms off the Blooper Gooper,
Yeah.
which is just horrendous. The way those things just like writhe around on the ground, like there's still the life in it.
Yeah.
And then the next shine you have to do that. You have to climb to the very, very top of all the girders and the structure there. And my God, is it so hard to get up to the top of it? And then you get to the top, and I think I'm nearly there, and then the gust of wind appears out of nowhere and blows me off, and I'm like, you are fucking kidding me.
I don't think I've done that. I think that on that level, I think I've done up to the Blooper Racing.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I've done that one, and it's the one that after that. I think that's
Is it? Okay.
And it doesn't seem like it's not too open. I don't think I've got any other star I can go and do, because I would leave this and go do something else and try and get better at it. But it doesn't seem that any other worlds have opened up yet. So yeah, I'm finding that one a real struggle, and I totally understand that people love it. I can see a lot of people saying that it is the harder game of the three.
What is it people say about the controls, about the flood controls? Because it would never have occurred to me that it was an issue. Because I was like, this fits fine. I don't know if it's again that muscle memory from playing the game way back in the day, but I never ever had an issue with how it felt to use the flood.
Well, I do.
I do, right?
I don't know. It's strange because Nintendo games and Mario games, especially, just the movement of it just feels so natural. You don't have to think about it. It just is an extension of your hands and the moves you're making. But with this, it feels like the flood. There is a machine that you're controlling that is in between you and Mario's movement, and I find that really jarring. And when you play Galaxy, it returns back to that same moveset that Odyssey uses and 64 uses, and it's got that same triple jump and long jump. That's what it's called, not the leap jump. The long jump. And there's none of this sort of flood having to sort of press the button to switch what mode it's in, and yeah, it's just... Yeah,
I will admit, I have tried to...
I'm very surprised they went from 64 to Sunshine and then up to Galaxy, which can we please move on to, because that's...
Yeah, okay, we can go into Galaxy.
That's the game here. I would happily have paid £50 for this package just for Galaxy. I am absolutely in love with this game. I'm playing it with my son, and we played it for a few hours. We played a half hour every day, and after we got a few hours into the game, and just galaxy after galaxy, just totally surprising us or flooring us, and we're just in awe of this game. He just turns to me and says, "Daddy, I think this might be the best game ever."
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't know. You might be right there, kid. It's just such a... I'm so glad. I'm so happy that
it's got good taste.
Playing this now for the first time, and it looks so good in HD. It looks as good as Odyssey. It looks like game. Doesn't look like a 13-year-old game. It looks like a game that Nintendo have just made and put out now. If no one had told me that Galaxy existed and they just put this game out now, I would have been totally happy and accepting that it's a Switch game in 2020. It looks that good and it plays that well, and I just can't believe that the grow up from Sunshine to this, they went from Sunshine to Galaxy in one leap without any other 3D games in between, and it's leaping into space. It's colossal.
Yeah, so this Galaxy is the one I've spent least time with in the package. Can I ask you how you are playing it? Which control method?
Pro controller.
Pro controller. So how are you dealing with the motion control for to get I had to move to individual Joy-Cons.
No, you couldn't get used to that. You can use the gyrometer in the and it moves it right. I'm loving it. I think I'm playing it.
I'm not motion controls guy.
I wish honestly all of my games I could control menus like this. I wish from now on I want every Switch game to have a little pointer that I could just twist and tilt the controller in my hands and just select things on the menu. I think it
felt too stiff for me. I don't know. I preferred using the sort of Wiimote and nunchuck style with a Joy-Con over using that Pro controller. I feel like I had to actual physical.
If I'd have played this back in the day and had to do the shaky Wiimote thing, that would have annoyed me. Whereas being able to just press Y to do your spinny jump or your spins, it's just great. You don't have to. You can faff around shaking the whole controller if you want, but you can just press Y and spin away you go. So it's great. And yeah, it does feel strange that there are bits where you do have to use it. Like the first time in the menu, you have to do it. You think, oh, okay, and you think it's strange they didn't just sort of patch in using the joystick to select things on the menu. But in the same way how Splatoon has ruined games which don't have motion control aiming in shooters, this now I think is going to, any game that I have like a menu now that I have to control by hand and I can't just tilt my controller to point a little mouse around, it's just going to really annoy me because they've shown me a better way to do it that I like. And not for everyone, but for me now it's going to be really jarring to not have that.
Yeah, like I said, I struggled using the Pro controller and the motion control. Not so much for in the menu, but for collecting the star bits.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit fiddly. I'll give
and
you that.
feeling like it was overly difficult, and I'd rather just use the Joy-Con as a pointer at the screen and wave it around to try and catch things. It just felt more natural.
Yeah, I've not
me,
tried
but
it, to be
I'm not a
honest.
motion controls kind of guy in terms of using the Joy-Con. For like you mentioned Splatoon, I turned off motion controls.
Oh my god, dude, that's just a subject for another podcast.
What a heathen.
Yeah, we'll come back to that, Lewis. Okay, so we're both enjoying Galaxy a lot now, I take it, and it's fantastic. And like I say, I would have happily just bought this package if it was just Galaxy. I would rather actually they'd have put out a package of Galaxy 1 and 2 and done the Mario Galaxy collection, and just put 64 and Sunshine on the eShop or Switch Online games. Because the Galaxy games they're the gold for me in this package, and it's going to be really annoying that I know the Galaxy 2 that I can't play, and I'm not going to go out and try and get a Wii to play it. And if they don't release that on Switch, I'm going to be really gutted. I really hope that comes next year or at some point as a separate thing that we can buy, and I will absolutely buy it straight away and happily pay whatever they charge for it, because if it's as good as this game, then that's amazing.
To pitch myself against you, the not played Galaxy that much in the package. I played it a little bit last night, but Sunshine at the moment is the game for me.
It's so
I don't think there's going to be many people saying that.
No, it's so interesting because it is all about what you grew up with and what your nostalgia is for, and there's I'm not saying you're wrong in that, and I can see it. I mean, Sunshine does look really good.
Undertones if you're wrong there, Lewis.
Just slight undertones. I mean, you are capable, but it is all that is fueled by your nostalgia for that game, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it does look quite nice, Sunshine in places. It's quite does impress graphically. It looks nice in HD.
Right there.
Looks nice in HD. I mean, if you go back and look at videos of these playing natively on a GameCube, you kind of forget how fuzzy and blurry they were. All of them really, and all three of them do look really nice, pinch up. And we'll just talk about the Nintendo have been getting a lot of slack for not enhancing or doing more of a fundamental remaster. I think they all look great, and I don't think they needed a fundamental remaster. I feel like 64, if you'd have done the entire game in like the Odyssey engine, which is what people sort of thought they might do, it would lose a bit of its charm, its character. I like the fact it's just the preservation of that game, and it looks really nice and crisp and sharp, how they've done it, and so does Sunshine and Galaxy. So I don't feel they.
What does Miyamoto say though? Isn't it like a game is perfect for its time period or something like that? I mean, that's a horrendous paraphrase or whatever it is, but it's something along those lines.
I'll tweet him and ask him.
Yeah, please do.
I'll give him a WhatsApp and ask him how he does it. Shigsy. Okay, so the package as a whole then, I guess let's just talk about, because I know a lot of people are disappointed that there isn't more to it, and I am personally, I do wish there was more in the terms of, I think based on what they did for the first Mario All-Stars 2D, where they remade the whole games, they really went to a lot of effort here. This game, it does feel like there was not too much effort gone to it. You know, they've made these games look very pin sharp and beautiful, but beyond that they've not really done much. And like the way that 64, you have these big borders down the side of the screen, you know, it wouldn't have killed them to put some options of just some borders or some things we can put down the side of the screen, something from the N64 days, just some nice kind of imagery or something just down the side, so it's just not black bars. Because playing it handheld, there is a lot of black around the screen when you've got your bezels.
I know what you mean. It's in terms of that, it's not. If I'm speaking personally, because it's the only way I can speak, is even if there was an option, and when there are games that do have that option to change borders, I never do, because they're always a distraction.
I just feel like there's not.
So it's not. It's not something I really care about, to be honest.
It would have been nice if there was something in this package though to show that. I feel like because everyone, it more comes down from a place of. Everyone loves these games, and Nintendo clearly loves these games and proud of these games, and we just want to have it as a real kind of special celebration of these games, and it doesn't feel like that's what it is. It is just these three games, and here they are in a package. But it surprised me that it wasn't a special edition or a collector's edition, the same way that Link's Awakening got one. A game clearly there's a lot of kind of nostalgia and heritage for, and that came in a £70 special edition with a steelbook, with an art book. And if they'd have done that for this game, that would have been even more of a collector's item than what it already is with its limited run. But if they'd had a steelbook for this, if there'd have been an art book with concept art from all three games, that would have been such a lovely piece to special edition to own. And they could have put the digital art book in the game. I think that's just what fans want, and it's not. It's fine without it. It's still a fantastic package, just from the strength of Galaxy alone. From where I'm sitting, as I keep returning, I would happily pay £50 for that. But
Yeah.
it's just a shame there isn't more. Is all really. So maybe Mario's 40th. We'll get that. Who knows?
Yeah, life begins at 40. I've seen people complain about the package again. I'm wondering why people were sort of complaining about it. I wasn't really. Again, I don't know if I care much about special editions and steel books and all that kind of thing. I mean, I'm going to be probably quite a small percentage of Nintendo fans who aren't going to be overly fussed. All I really care about is the 3 games there. There's the 3 soundtracks for the games. Fine.
Yeah, I'm not ever going to look at the soundtracks. I do like the way though when you load the game, it picks a different random track from all those soundtracks. I like that. That's a nice little touch.
I think if there were one thing, if they had, you mentioned a book, an art book or something, if they could have just put something in there, like a little leaflet, a little thing, a little bit of info,
or the manuals, that would have been cool, like a digital version of the
yeah.
original manuals, because people love stuff like that.
Yeah.
They love flicking through old manuals and things, and like these games, there would have been good manuals, and it would have been quite useful as well, because they would have had all the controls listed out and stuff. Which
I mean, games look naked now with no manual in there. It's and there's still the little tabby bits to slide that.
Yeah, I wonder
manual
if
in,
because they could put Galaxy 2 could be DLC. Maybe that would arrive after March. Who knows?
Yeah.
You could sell that, and you could just expand that little list on this little slideshow of all the different things you can choose from the games or the soundtracks. Maybe more will come. Maybe they'll add to it. Who knows? But
we should count ourselves lucky, Laurie, that we aren't in the States, because our sticker on the cart is perfectly aligned and not squint.
Yeah,
because they've got that ESRB rating.
For that alone, I'm truly grateful. Yeah,
yep.
No, I'm pleased. It's a nice package to own. The inside of it's got some nice screenshots from
nice
the
images,
box as well. But yeah, okay, great. Well, thanks, Lewis. That's the Mario 3D All Stars collection. I think it's fair to say we're both very happy with it.
Yep.
And we're going to keep playing it.
We are indeed. I'm going to complete them all, I promise.
Yeah, whatever.
Scout's honour. Brilliant. It's the first time I've been up since before lockdown, and I just did the exact same thing as I always do. As a park in an area of town called Morningside, quite a nice little bit, and I walk through Brunsfield Links, through the meadows into sort of Edinburgh city centre, and I just did the exact same thing as I always do. I go into CEX or SEX, whatever you want to call it, and then into FOP.
Don't play that game. You got FOP still in Edinburgh?
Yeah, there used to be
down here now.
2, but then the one closed when FOP closed, and then HMV bought the building that the other one was in, or like HMV said they bought it to keep that one, I don't know. So I go in there, look at records, CDs, and then I sort of just toddled off. I actually was going to go into Apple, and I was like, oh, there's a queue for Apple. I was like, I'll stand in, and I looked in the window. I was like, I don't want to go in here. There's nothing I'm going to buy. So yeah, I wandered about and it was boring. I was like 2 hours and that was it.
Wow.
Then I had to go and pick up paint.
Nice paint. Is that for your new gaff, presume? Or you're not going to paint your gaff before you move out?
I say paint. If my dad was here, he would say, I think you mean emulsion.
It's like diluting juice. It's emulsion.
Yeah, it's actually emulsion. Paint is for wood.
What's your brand of choice when it comes to paint, Lewis? It's important.
This was Dulux Brilliant White Ceiling and Wall Paint.
Okay, so standard. That's about as bog standard paint as you can get.
Yeah.
Ceiling.
But then Ailey had put in an order for other colours for the girls' room.
I was going to say, if you started saying Pharaoh and Bull, then don't go down that route because it's just crazy expensive.
No.
It's you
5
can get
litres of white
and they
paint.
do like a fake version of it that looks exactly the same and costs about a third of the price. That's the top tip for 21 decorating. Whose wife wants to get Pharaoh and Bull colours? You're like, ooh.
Yeah, I just like Ailey can deal with all that sort of stuff. I'm useless when it comes to this kind of thing. I just do what I'm told.